The clock had been in my family since 1911. My great-grandfather built it himself, crafted from oak. He felled on his own land. When I inherited the farmhouse, the clock came with it, still running, still keeping perfect time. I remember the clock from childhood visits. It stood in the hallway, 7 feet tall, its pendulum swinging in that eternal rhythm. My grandmother used to say it was the heartbeat of the house. When I moved in, the realtor mentioned the clock. It's valuable, she said. Collectors would pay a fortune, but she looked at it strangely, like she didn't want to be near it too long. My first night there, I woke at 3:17 a.m. The house was silent, too silent. The clock had stopped, pendulum frozen, hands fixed. I checked the mechanism, nothing wrong, but it wouldn't start. The phone rang at 7 a.m. My uncle had died in the night, heart attack, time of death, 3:17 a.m. The exact moment the clock stopped, after the funeral, I came home. The clock was running again. I don't know when it started. No one had wound it. No one had touched it. But there it was, ticking away like nothing had happened. I found my grandmother's diaries in the attic. She'd kept meticulous records for 60 years, and in the margins a pattern emerged. Every time someone in the family died, she'd written, "The clock stopped." Great-grandfather, 1943. The clock stopped at 4:22 p.m. Great-grandmother, 1967, 11:15 a.m. My grandfather, 1988, 2:30 a.m. Every death marked, every time recorded. The clock was keeping a different kind of time. My grandmother's final entry. The clock will stop for me soon. I can feel it slowing. I hope someone continues the record. The clock remembers. It always remembers. She died 2 days after writing that. The clock stopped at 6:47 a.m. I checked the death certificate. Exact match. She'd known it was coming. The clock had told her. I started watching the clock obsessively, checking it every hour, every minute when I was home, listening for any change in rhythm, any hesitation in the swing of the pendulum. My wife thought I was losing my mind. "It's just a clock," she said. "Wooden, metal, and gears." But she didn't grow up with it. Didn't know what my grandmother knew, what my whole family knew. 3 months later, I woke in darkness, silence. The clock had stopped. I lay in bed, terrified to check the time. If I saw when it stopped, I'd know when someone was dying. Right now, this moment, I forced myself to look. 4:23 a.m., the hands frozen, the pendulum still. I called my mother. She was fine. Called my brother. Fine. Called my sister. Fine. Called everyone I could think of, all alive. Scared. Then my wife came downstairs. I couldn't sleep. She said, "Something woke me." She looked pale, tired, and then she touched her chest, frowned, and collapsed right there. In front of the stopped clock, I called 911. Did CPR. Did everything right, but the clock had already told me, 4:23 a.m. That was her time. Had been her time since she walked into this house. Maybe since before. She didn't survive. Aneurysm, they said. She'd had it for years. Could have burst any time. But it burst at 4:23 a.m. when the clock stopped. When the house decided it was her moment, I wanted to destroy it. Take an axe to 100 years of oak and brass. End whatever power it had. But I couldn't. This clock had marked my family's time for generations. Destroying it felt like destroying them. The clock runs still. I live alone now. I don't invite family here anymore. Don't let anyone stay overnight. If the clock is going to stop for someone, it won't be because I brought them within its reach. But I wonder sometimes when it will stop for me, if I'll hear the silence coming, if I'll have a moment to understand before whatever happens, happens. Or if I'll just wake up one night to nothing. I keep my grandmother's diary going. Every death, every time. Someone should continue the record. The clock remembers. The least I can do is remember too. My daughter wants to inherit the house someday. The family house, she calls it. I haven't told her about the clock. Haven't shown her the diaries. I'm still deciding what kind of knowledge is fair to pass on. Maybe the next generation should discover it themselves. Or maybe I should burn it all. Clock, diaries, house. End the line of knowing. Let the dead stay quiet about when the living will join them. The clock ticks on. Regular. Patient. Keeping time for a house and a family that dwindles year by year. And somewhere in its mechanism, it already knows when it will stop next. It knows all our appointments. Every last one.